We're being hunted.
Watch your head.
What's up, guys? It's Katie Hettenbach, and this is Katie Afraidy, a horror movie review podcast where we chat with comedians, actors, filmmakers about what scary movies. Obviously, it's a silly, haha, goofy time, but either way, shit's about to get spooky. On Zoom, we got a Zoom episode today. Today, we are chatting with the director of Pitfall, James, and I can't wait for you guys to hear about this movie. So let's get into it.
That's so funny. Also, you and John look so alike. It's actually kind of uncanny.
Yeah, identical twins.
Are you actually? I didn't know that. Okay. I didn't know he had a twin. Oh my God.
Yeah, that's why I have to grow out my beard. Otherwise, we'll be too similar.
Oh my God.
I got a little bit of weight on me. Food goes straight through him. It doesn't really settle on him, which is lucky. But no, yeah. Identical
I
twins.
didn't know that.
Mhm.
What?
30
That's
minutes,
cool.
30 minutes apart. Yeah.
Wow.
Mhm.
Yeah. Wait, who's older?
Me.
Okay. Congrats.
Thank you. Been riding my coattails since. No, kidding.
Yeah, right.
No,
And you tell him.
he's great. Very, very stoked for him and everything that he's doing and so on. And he's helping me out with some stuff. And he actually worked on the movie a little bit because we used to direct together a lot. And then I think like mid-production, it was clear that this was a bigger deal and it was a lot harder than I thought. And we needed a lot more time than we were given. I think it was like 18 days. And I'm like, it should have been a 25-day shoot. And so I called John up and I said, I really need somebody up here shooting second unit, like doing second unit directing, just getting other tiny little scenes or other shots that I just don't have time to get myself. So he came up for a week and yeah, so that was massively helpful.
The Coen brothers are quaking right now.
Yeah. We were Kondelik brothers for a while and everything. But yeah, still, we still talk about, writing stuff together and working on other projects and stuff. Maybe an action comedy or something next.
That's
We
awesome.
definitely do want to do more comedy and things together. So we'll see.
Yeah, I feel that as someone who does a lot of horror, I'm like, what would be fun? A comedy to be silly
Yeah.
on camera and not be like scared all the time.
We're constantly, injecting humor and comedy into things anyway, naturally. So it'd just be great to do kind of a straighter comedy. So yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I love that.
They're harder to get greenlit, but we'll see.
Oh, totally.
Anyway, take it away.
No, we're good. No, I like this, like the natural segue into everything. I thought that was so interesting too, because I didn't know that John helped out. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
So first of all, I guess I'll say congrats on the movie.
Thank you.
Making anything is freaking hard. You made something fun and I feel like unique and funny and exciting and nerve-wracking and stressful.
Thank you. Yeah,
and
I hope people like it. Yeah.
Yeah, and as someone who has a sibling and a dad named Scott, triggering. They never Scott, and I'm like, that's my whole life, Scott.
If you have any family drama or trauma, rather, yeah, hopefully it wasn't too triggering.
No, not triggering at all. No, we're good. We're good. Although I did have he did fall into a pit, which is similar, to the story. No, he didn't. That would be crazy. It'd be like, what a coincidence. That's insane. Wow.
No, yeah, I mean, it's been crazy because like at some of the festivals and stuff, like I look around the audience and people are like on the edges of their seats and people are like full on crying in some of the parts and everything, which is a different reaction that you typically get in a horror film. But I think that's what most people have been talking about was just like how much they cared about the characters, so that if they did die, it was a bit more devastating.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully that was successful. But yeah, I've gotten in trouble with some people because I I was accused of killing off their favorite character or whatever. So,
Oh, totally.
oops.
Oopsie, oopsie. Oh no. Well, that means you did your job right.
I think so.
No?
I mean,
Like you got some type of reaction.
I think it was effective in that sense, but we'll see.
Oh, totally.
Hopefully enough people see it so we can do a sequel or something. If the spirit is willing and everybody is wanting more, we definitely have ideas for more. We kind of, left it open in case we wanted to come back or not. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. So how did you come up with this idea?
I think it was like about 15 years ago. It was actually right after John's accident, my brother's accident, and I was going through that a bit, and I think I was just desperate to get a movie made at the time, and I was it was at the beginning of my career, and a lot of people were telling me at the time there was a lot of like single, um, one location kind of movies and thrillers and things like that getting made at the time, and everyone was telling me you should really do like a contained movie, like a single location movie. And so I heard about these traps, these pitfall traps, and that hunters use for deer and bear, and or even in Vietnam. So I thought it was very interesting that I think I immediately looked it up. I'm like, has anybody done like a full movie about just that? I mean, certainly they've been featured in movies or shows or whatever, but never like a whole movie. So I was kind of surprised that there hasn't been a movie like that. And then I'm like, well, what if I did that? But I'm insanely claustrophobic. Like movies like 127 Hours or
Hmm.
Buried, um, kind of really like get to me and get under my skin. Uh, but I almost find it too punishing, So I'm like, it'd be great if like you took that kind of movie and then added or layered on top with layered a slasher film on top of it.
Hmm.
And so I don't know. I just thought that would be kind of fun. It just kept growing and everything. But it came from this idea of like, well, let's try to get something made quickly and simply, and something that we can shoot immediately. And what's simpler than a guy in a hole? And little
Yeah.
did we know it was going to be a long journey to try to get it made and greenlit, and certainly a long journey to just actually make the thing. Like once it was greenlit, it was, um, it was a quick realization that it's like this isn't an easy movie at all. It's a very,
Mhm.
very difficult movie. So, it's a long, long road getting here.
But you did it, and you're now showing it to people, which is so exciting. And you kind of talked about this a little bit, like seeing people's reactions in theaters or like in screenings and whatnot. Has there been a moment that you were like, oh, I feel like the audience is going to react this way at this moment, but then they reacted a different way that you didn't really expect?
Uh, that's a good question. I mean, there was definitely more humor. There's definitely more humorous parts in the movie than I think the audience lets on. I mean, certainly there's certainly like funnier bits that they laugh at, but there's certainly bits. Maybe it's just for me and it's me being self-indulgent, but there's like certain bits in there that I find so funny, and I'm the only one laughing in the theater, cackling like a madman, and everybody's like stoic and dead silent. And I'm like, are they just taken in by the movie, or is it just not that funny? So I don't know. Like there's a bit where Scott, spoiler, but Scott like is like starving and he eats this sort of like rotten fish. I laugh every time, but everybody's just kind of grossed out by it. I find it really funny, but he like immediately vomits it up, and his reaction to that, where he's just like, calling out for help, and it's just this sort of pathetic, exhausted, exasperated plea, and it turns into just this sort of, come on, help, I don't want to die, uncomfortable. And that kind of gets a laugh, but there's just so many different things. Sometimes it doesn't.
Mhm.
But I'm like, that's so strange. Like, I don't know. I maybe I did things for myself sometimes, but there's certainly plenty of other things with like Richard and who plays Lars that people really love and whatnot. He's a obvious standout in Final Destination Bloodlines, and he did the same in our movie. So we had to actually tone him down sometimes because he was too funny, and which I hated cutting out any line or any bit that was like insanely funny because it was just brilliant. It's just, you know, there were times where I'm like, this is just too funny for this tone or for this place and time in the movie because it's like
Mhm.
supposed to be a lot more serious and like the gravity of the danger and the threat is supposed to be a lot heavier now and a lot more serious. So I felt bad that I cut out a couple jokes and stuff. So yeah, kill your babies, I suppose.
That's true. Well, hey, you can put him in another movie that's more comedy based and just let him go free. That'll be
I hope so. I mean, definitely. I mean, I asked the actors on set if is there a movie that they typically don't get to do that they would like to do or a certain type of role. And both like Alex, Esso, and Richard and Jordan and Marshall. I mean, just everybody was like, we definitely want to do more comedy, and because they either do, you know, kind of dramas or horror thrillers and stuff. They very rarely do just straight up comedies. I'm like, that's so shocking because they're all so funny, and we had a blast making it, and you know, half of the time we were just making each other laugh and just trying to get through it because it was such a grueling process. So yeah, I don't know. Hopefully we can do another one. Richard's kind of blowing up right now, and you know, I mean, the whole cast is very busy. So I'm very grateful for them and thankful for everything they did on this movie. But you know, I'm hoping they can come back for number two if we do number two, or if you know, if the fates decide that, you know, we finally get to do a comedy or something, I would love to have them back. I'd be very lucky.
that would be awesome. I'm rooting for you and it's gonna happen. Put it out there. It's
Mhm.
happening.
Let's manifest
Done.
it.
Done and done. Um, also have to say, I don't think I've seen this in a lot of horror movies, and I appreciate this because I always wonder like why the killers don't do this. Um, Scott is like, I'm gonna fucking kill you, da 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 the killer. And the killer just was like, go ahead, do it. Do it, go
Oh,
ahead.
thank
And
you.
so we're and everyone else was saying that, and it like he dropped his knife, he's like, go ahead, do it,
Yeah, yeah,
kill
yeah.
me.
Or
So and I
he
love that.
chucks the axe at
Yes, the axe, that's what it was. Yes.
he chucks the axe at Ashley,
Hmm.
and it was what was interesting about that was the intention was the same, but it was so strange because I don't know why it was written this way. Partly myself to blame, I suppose, but that moment was supposed to play in the middle of the scene. And I'm like, that's a clearly like as we're doing it, I'm like, this is like the end of the scene. And
Hmm.
so I'm like, this is gonna play way better. And so anyway, but yeah, that was a really intense scene, and maybe we got two takes of it, of like Alex's performance and everything with like the axe and everything. Like we didn't have a lot of time. We were constantly chasing daylight, like shooting all night, and then you can start to see the sun starting to come up, the sky starting to you know, get brighter, and we're like, oh no, in like a minutes this is all going to be just kill our shot, and the lighting is going to be dead, so we're like, go 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 go.
Hmm.
And the thankfully the actors were just so game that they were on board. But yeah, I really love that moment too. It that was kind of my nobody will get it, but I don't think. But I loved movies like The Hitcher with Rutger Hauer so much, and there's just I like when killers in movies kind of play with their food, kind of play with their prey a bit, and constantly push them to see if like see how they'll react instead of just straight up killing them. If he wanted them dead, he would kill them. But
Totally.
I think he's kind of like wanting to. I mean, I almost gave something away. He's trying to push them to see if they're going to rise to the occasion and kind of fight back and kind of be a worthy adversary. Uh, but in The Hitcher, it was the same thing. Like Rutger Hauer's character is constantly um like pushing C. Thomas Howell's character
Mhm.
like closer and closer to the edge and like, you know, egging him on, like even telling him like, kill me, do it.
Good.
I dare you. And I love that so much. And something about that is so scary that they give you a little bit of hope, but you're so terrified that it's like the characters are like, no, I'm not even going to try. And they're like, you had your chance
Hmm.
and now you're going to die. And so I love that so much in those kinds of movies versus, people who are just, not to call out certain torture porn movies, but when somebody's just like restrained to a chair and
Hmm.
they're just slowly getting tortured, I mean, that just does nothing for me. I don't mind gore or anything, clearly, but I really need that level of hope of like somebody like you're set up in a situation, but you can get out or you can turn the tables if you try really hard. I need that level of hope as a viewer to just continue caring. Otherwise, I'm like, what am I doing? Now I'm just watching a snuff film. If there's just no hope and this person's slowly getting torn apart, and I'm like, oh God. So that becomes a bummer very quick.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm
Did
with
I
you.
answer your question? I don't know.
Yeah, no, you totally did.
Very long-winded.
And
Sorry.
and if it became something else, that's also part of the journey, part of the fun. We love
Yeah,
that.
there we go.
There's
Love,
no
love that journey for us.
rules. There's
Yes.
no rules. Okay. You can we live on a floating rock. We can answer whatever question we want to answer at
This
that time.
this is
So
America. We can do
yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so when it came to the killer's weapon, how like I always think it's interesting being like, okay, this is what we're gonna go with.
Hmm.
But you obviously had to get, you're like you had a couple in mind of like, oh, he might use this, he might use this. How did you land on the one you chose?
Well, I mean, he had an assortment of weapons,
Yeah,
so he's pretty handy with a knife and
mhm,
an axe and
yeah, the crossbow.
bow and arrow
Yeah.
and
Right.
and then his various traps and contraptions and things like that. So I don't know. I think the idea behind that was kind of I think I pitched it one time very simply to somebody as like just it's evil Rambo. Jesus Christ. It's just evil Rambo, okay? Just imagine if Rambo was an evil woodsman who lived in the woods for like decades and was just taking out campers and hikers and stuff and like trapping them in these traps and rigging the forest up and so on. So once I said that, that kind of clicked with some people and they go, "Oh, now I know what this is." And I'm like,
Mhm.
I've been saying the wrong thing for years, I guess. Hunter, deranged mad hunter, but I say evil Rambo, everybody's like, "Oh, no, I know what you're talking about."
Like, oh, that's a really good idea. We should green light that. And you're like,
It's been like 15
okay.
years. It's been almost made like 5 times. And it got very close every time and I never I started to think it wasn't going to get made and then I met my producer Wai Sun Cheng and with his company Panda Pix, shout out, they're great, and I met him actually as an editor for another project, and it didn't work out for various reasons, like schedule or timing or whatever, and but he and his team, they were like, but we really like your work, we really want to work with you on something, and I said, well, let me know, what are you guys doing next? And they said, he said, we're not sure yet. And I'm like, well, are you looking for scripts? And he goes, yeah. And so I said, can I send you a few things? And he said, yeah, absolutely. And did my obligatory pitch, sent him a mountain of just a pile of scripts. And about a month later, so this is like April of 2024, he got back to me and said, "Hey, we're kind of interested in Pitfall. That sounds kind of doable for this budget. What do you think?" And I said, "Yeah, we could probably do it for that budget." And he's like, "Okay, well, cool. Well, we're gonna keep working on this and let you know." And over the course of like a few weeks, he kept asking me questions. Can you do this? Can you do that? Can you do this? Would you be willing to change this? Could you change that? Could you change? We updated it and everything. We worked with their writer. And so there was a lot of things there that just sort of transpired over a few weeks. But I mean, I do this all the time with every pitch, so I didn't think anything of it. And mid-May of 2024, he called me again and asked, "Hey, can you shoot it in August?" I said, "August? It's mid-May. It's almost June. It means I have to like drop everything like right now and get up to Canada and start location scouting." And he goes, "Yep."
Oh,
I'm like, "What does that mean? Like, are we greenlit? Are we financed?" Like, n this never happens. Like, I usually discussions happen over the course of a year or years, discussing and trying to get the package together, and then you go out to cast and get financing and all this. He's like, "Nope, we're like 80% financed." I'm like, "How?" And so I was like, "Okay, amazing." And he's like, "So we're greenlit, so go." And I had to literally drop the job I was on and jump on a plane to Canada, flew up, started location scouting, and we were in official prep in July, and then we started shooting beginning of August of 2024, and then we finished fall of 2025. We premiered at Screamfest, and then we played at Panic Fest, and now we're playing at Chattanooga. But then, in just this past April, days before Panic Fest, we get an email from AMC Theaters saying they saw the movie, because we had pitched it to them directly. Long shot. A lot of our sales people, everybody's great. Everybody's been very helpful and amazing with pushing this movie, but for whatever reason, I think just due to like we didn't have like big names or anything in the movie. A lot of people kept telling us, like to my face even, like they're like, "There's no way you're getting this released theatrically, just no way. Nobody wants to see that." uh, and I'm like, I don't know, well, let's see. And there's a way you can actually pitch your movie as an independent producer to AMC. It's very rare, but they do pick like maybe 6 to 8 films a year um, for release. And so they finally got back to us out of nowhere, and much to our surprise, they were like, "We love the film. We want to release it end of May." And I'm like, "Holy cow, that's really soon." So time to get to work. So that's where we've been the past month, just in this world of trying to promote and lock in theaters and stuff. And I think we're talking to Regal and a couple other theaters and stuff that we're trying to still we're gonna be like securing theaters probably through the whole release, honestly.
yeah.
Every week we'll maybe be adding more and more every week, so we'll see.
That's so exciting. Congrats. Oh
Thank
my
you.
God. You're one of eight potentially of the year.
They get 20 to 50 submissions a week. And I'm like,
Dude,
holy
that's
cow,
awesome.
it's like the lottery or something. I incredibly lucky and blessed, and thankfully the programmer there at AMC, she is our little guardian angel. Shout out to Amanda.
I
Uh,
know.
and she has great taste. And saw something in the movie, and she talked to us, and she was pretty much just saying like, you would not believe just how much like how many movies I have to watch that are just poorly done and just terrible. And she's like, she is a bit of a horror fan, so that helped us. But she said this was, done so well, and it looked great. It was acted well, it was written well. It's just she loved it. And she's like, I think this should be everywhere. We don't have that kind of marketing budget to play everywhere, but I think this has been proving to be an amazing experience, and sort of test run for the next time we do this. So hopefully we can come back to our friends at AMC and do this all over again with a little bit more uh, advertising budget behind us. But
Yeah.
we've been very, very lucky to have their help, and they've been helping us out a lot. And Bloody Disgusting's been helping us out a lot, Cineverse. So yeah, just very blessed. So very grateful.
Yay. Well, we are slowly wrapping up here, but I always end with this one specific silly thing, and it's a play on my show's name, Katie Afraidy. Do you think audiences will be afraidy or not afraidy of Pitfall?
I think they will be Afraidy, and I think they'll also be laughing. They'll laugh, they'll cry, they'll scream, they'll jump, they'll yeah, I think they'll do a little bit of everything. Hopefully they cheer.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think see Pitfall May 29th. It's a great time. And if you don't like it, still see it. The second one will be even better. It'll be it'll have way more it'll have way more action and everything. But th this one, I tell you, I've been commended by many people about how brutal and uh upsetting the kills are and everything. And you know, it's we didn't have that much gore, like, but on set we didn't have that much gore, but everybody's telling me how much, like, how gory it is. I'm like, wonder what that's about. And somebody finally told me, they're like, you know what it is that they found that the characters were so real, or they identified with the characters so much that anything bad to them, like if anything
Story.
bad
Yeah.
was happening to them, they just, like, I don't know, imagine something way worse.
Mhm.
There are some gnarly, gory deaths in this for sure, but as a horror fan, I was a bit insecure because I was like, oh, we could have pushed it way further. Like we had so many other ideas, and it just, fell on budget and time, and it's just one of those things. It's like, how much is this severed head? No, we're gonna do something different. How much is this? No, we're not gonna do that. So yeah, hopefully for the second one, the producers and I have been talking, like, if everything works out, there's that was their first thought, was like, let's talk kills, because we're all very excited about really pushing the boundaries next time as well.
Mhm.
I think this one will push people's buttons. I think the next one will push it even further. So,
Amazing. I cannot
but
wait to see what you make next. And I'm so excited for you. Congrats again.
thank you,
And
Katie.
and thanks for chatting with me.
Thank you. Great name. It's my
Thank
wife's
you. Oh,
name. Easy to
she's a good
remember.
one.
Well, I don't know about you guys. I will be very careful where I step in the woods, especially when this movie comes to theaters May 29th, guys. Make sure you are sat in your seats for this movie. Please go out and support it. It's awesome. And James, thanks again for chatting with me. And make sure to like, subscribe, all that jazz, Katie Hettenbach, and all social media platforms. And yeah, we will see you guys next time. Stay Afraidy.
We would like to give a huge thanks to a few of our sponsors. Filmcraft Studio Gear, where you can get any gear you're looking for all production needs. Go to filmcraftla.com, or you can find them at filmcraftla on Instagram. And of course, a big shout out to Fangoria. Want a copy of a Fangoria magazine? Use code Katie Afraidy 25 for 25% off. Katie Afraidy 25 for 25% off.
Hell of a weekend, huh? Wait!